First of all, I am very, very happy to be with you all. Thank you all for your interest to come out and to want to know about us as musicians, as people. For me, it is an honor to be here. When I was contacted by Michael to be a part of this festival this year, and he said to me, I said, "Who is in this band?" And he says, "Oh, Dennis Chambers." I said, "I'm in. I'm in." I love Dennis's work. I have been an admirer of his drumming for many, many years. Um, Rhythm is something very important to me, and if in a rhythm section in a band you have a good drummer, everything else will fall into place, in my humble opinion. So that was part of the reason I said yes. The other part of the reason I said yes was because I had never been to Montenegro. I lived in France for 24 years, so I knew about Montenegro, I knew about Yugoslavia, I knew about the breakup and the wars, and I was always fascinated by this area of Europe. I had always felt that the Balkan countries have a deep soul, a deep spirit, and it is about life. And the music has always fascinated me. So I thought this would be a great opportunity. And I have to say, last evening, when I listened to Vasil's group, I was transported and I was reminded of how beautiful, yeah, how beautiful music is around the world and how fortunate we are as Americans when we are able to leave our country and experience other musics. I cannot say enough how wonderful this band was. We've spoken about it. Um, and the compositions that he had created, it was extraordinary. And for me, what is wonderful is that outside of the United States, there is a whole world, a whole other world that Americans do not know about. And from living in France, I had the opportunity to be inspired by music around the world, which led me to do some very creative albums and to work with some amazing musicians. And since I have been back in the United States since 2010, I have not felt this inspiration. Last night was like a shot of adrenaline for me to hear Vasil and his band. So
So much. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to Michael and to Vladimir to put this Made in New York Jazz Festival together, to have the ideas to create these unusual groups of musicians. I had not heard of Jakob. I had not heard of Alexis. And to hear these two musicians was also an eye opener for me. And then to find that Ashley Pizzotti is a part of the band, that she had been invited, that made me feel good because Ashley is not a student of mine, but I have tried to mentor her with her career development. And to share a stage with Ashley was a wonderful, wonderful moment. And I realize as a musician and with age and with experience that young musicians look up to musicians like myself, to musicians like Dennis, to musicians like Bisera. They look up to us. They want to be maybe similar to us, or they want to understand how we have developed our careers to be in the position that we are today. So I think it's it's a good possibility for us to be on a stage together to show people and young musicians the camaraderie that can exist between musicians who never worked together before this moment. So that is why I accepted. That is why I will always accept. And I fell in love with your country. I think you are a beautiful people. And I think that you have something special. I hope that it will not change. I know that you want to knock on the door to be a part of the European Union. This is good, but do not lose your culture. Because what I noticed from living in France when the European Union began was that the idea was to try to homogenize all of the European countries. And I experienced a kind of moving away from the individual cultures of each country to be the same, like the United States. No, please, don't do this. Protect your culture so that when we come as foreigners, we can see what is going on in your country, in Montenegro. Not that Montenegro looks like all of the other Western European countries. And I congratulate you, and I am honored to be here, and I'm moving here probably next year. Yeah, but in all sincerity, I really, really feel fortunate and honored to be a part of this cultural experience. So I laud you, gentlemen. I laud you.